Hey, what's going on, guys? Welcome back to the channel. Real Sports Updates here, back again with another video. Going to be speaking about the game of the year in the NFL so far, the Browns versus the Chargers yesterday. Really was a barn burner. One of the best games that I've ever seen in my life, and it was one of the best games that I've ever been at in my life. I was in attendance for this game. It was a really good game. The place was electric from the start. And before I touch on any of the stuff that happened in the game, we always hear in the media about the Chargers being in LA and, they have no juice and there's nobody there and all this stuff. The stadium was electric from the start, from when, by the time that I walked in, all the way to the end of the game. That place was electric. It was loud, and there was a lot of energy in there, and a lot of Charger fans as well too. I think the media is really like blowing this thing out of proportion, saying that there's no Charger fans. There was quite a bit of Charger fans in there, and it was loud when they were moving the ball, getting first downs and scoring. It was very loud. So this whole narrative about there being no Charger fans around, I don't think that is. I don't think that's true. And it's a really big stadium. So other teams' fans come to watch a game. And another thing is that LA is a destination spot as well too. So you have a lot of fans coming from the cold and just like the Browns, a lot of Cleveland Browns fans from Ohio there. It's cold. The weather is nasty, it's ugly. They're coming to watch a game at SoFi Stadium. They're coming to LA. It's a destination spot because they're doing, not only are they coming to watch the game, they're coming to do stuff beforehand. And they're coming to do stuff afterwards, going to the beach, going to Hollywood, doing a whole bunch of touristy stuff. This is a destination spot, so there's going to be a lot of fans from different places coming to watch their team. That's never, it's always going to be that way. But this is what life is, in LA. So we already know that, and the whole narrative that there's no Charger fans around is BS. Let me tell you that right now. So getting to the game, man, it was back and forth all game. Both teams came in with really high ranking defenses. All of that went out the window. This was a complete offensive game. As a Charger fan, I was a little upset, but as just a fan watching football, it was really one of the best games that anybody can ask for, to be in attendance for. So it was really exciting, really entertaining. The big takeaways are the obvious is that there's a big gap between quarterback play between the Browns and the Chargers. Justin Herbert was fantastic, pretty much as always. Baker Mayfield was really good too, but the difference is, the Browns really have a schedule that they have to stick to, and they have the blueprint for success in every game. That's run the ball. Play actions there. Baker's hitting wide open receivers. The big tight end. And that's kind of their blueprint to win the game. Their defense comes in, they get pressure on the quarterback, and that's kind of their blueprint to win the game. And they pretty much followed it the whole entire game. Except for that halfway through the fourth quarter. Is when the Browns, they started asking Baker to make plays, with his arm and not just handing the ball off to the running backs. And he wasn't able to do it. And I have a lot of respect for the Browns. The Cleveland Browns played a really good game yesterday. They had a fantastic game plan, fantastic run game. Everything was there, but it's just that end. The end of the game, it came down to Baker Mayfield making plays, and he just couldn't do it. Their 2-minute offense wasn't great, but I kind of expected that. If you run the ball, you run the air out of the ball all game long, and then all of a sudden you have to go into 2-minute. That rhythm in the passing game is not going to be there. So I expected that. After the Chargers scored that accidental touchdown when Eckler was pushing to the end zone, I kind of felt good about it because the Browns weren't running tempo. They were taking their time. They're being deliberate. They're running the ball a lot. And they weren't in a lot of like traditional passing formations. They weren't in the shotgun very much. They always had a tight end, at least one tight end. They came out in 12 personnel. That's the one running back with two tight ends. They were in that quite a bit. Obviously to run, and then in the play action game as well. I think both of the starting tackles were out, so they had the tight ends in there, and they were in heavy formations a good portion of the game, and that's how they were able to create those running lanes for Chubb and Hunt. But when you're down in the game and you need your quarterback to come and deliver you, I don't know if Baker's that guy. I really don't, and I'm a big Baker Mayfield fan. I just don't know if he's that guy. He's had his opportunities, earlier this year against the Chiefs, and he ended up throwing that interception to pretty much end the game there. And here, he just didn't get it done. They had like a minute and 20 seconds, 25 seconds or something left when they got the ball on that last drive, and they only ended up gaining like 20 yards or something like that. Very short stuff, They didn't really, and they also didn't get out of bounds either. So, they had to come up and run some plays and then clock the ball. I think he clocked the ball with like 14 seconds left, and they weren't even really close to the end zone. I don't think they were even in Charger territory. So he didn't do enough, obviously, on the 2-minute drive. And I think the pressure is on him, and I think it's up to him. Kevin Stefanski, the head coach, he had a fantastic game plan yesterday, and he knows what he's doing. He's a bright offensive mind. I can tell that this offense is really, really well coached. But they're missing that elite passing attack. Everybody says Jarvis Landry's not there. Is his absence is, and I'm sure it does. His absence is felt. You can feel it. But regardless, the Baker has got to be better, and that's just what it is at the end of the day. One wide receiver can't make or break you. And Jarvis Landry is a good wide receiver. I wouldn't say he's one of the top 5 in the league. So Baker's got to be able to, get the ball out to other guys. You're not gonna just play with Jarvis Landry, his entire career. Especially if he hopes to have a long career. He's not gonna play with the same receiver. You're gonna get different receivers coming in and out. You got to develop chemistry, and you got to be able to trust those guys in big spots. You got to be able to trust that your receiver is going to run the right route. He's going to break it off at the right time. And when you put that ball on him, you're going to have to trust that he's going to be able to catch it as well. So I think the Browns have that to work on. They have everything else, but that last 2-minute drill with the game on the line, they have to be better because they can't just hide behind the run game. And and that's what it feels like the Browns are doing sometimes. They're kind of hiding Baker Mayfield behind that potent running game, which is fine. You can do that. You can definitely do that. But, you're not going to be able to run your way to, a Super Bowl or an AFC Championship game. Your quarterback has to make plays, and he's going to have to make the throws that need to be made, especially at the end of a game. And if he can't do it, you're not going to go. You're not going to go anywhere. You're not going to have any true success after that. And that brings me to my next point as well too. Being at the game, seeing all of the star power, Justin Herbert, Keenan Allen, Mike Williams had a huge game. Austin Eckler was great. Odell Beckham Jr. What happened? What the hell happened? I don't know what happened to this guy. I have no idea. I told my fiance, I was like, did they give him a tranquilizer or something? Because he was out there going through the motions. Odell is a guy who, when he's engaged in the game, you can tell he's engaged in the game. He's running his routes hard. He's chirping. He's going, back and forth. He didn't do anything, and to be honest with you, I forgot he was there. There was a big part of the game where he wasn't even in the game. I'm pretty sure it was the third quarter. but it was really like crucial third downs. You know, I'm the well he had the drop pass on fourth down earlier in the game, but like these crucial third downs he wasn't in the game, and I'm just like, what is he doing? I think the Browns are paying him like almost $15 million this year. Why have him out there if you're not going to throw the ball to him? He finished with 2 catches for 20 yards. Um, for a guy like that, you know, and when he's at his best, he's a top 5 receiver in the league. No questions, hands down. But you know, they don't use him. They don't use him in a way that you would use a great wide receiver. You know, and on the other side you have Mike Williams, who had a huge game. He was getting open. He was making tough catches. Justin Herbert was looking for him. I think he gave him like 15 targets. I think he had 8 or 9 catches. Keenan Allen, he had a tough first half, but he was there whenever we needed a play to be made. Whenever there was a fourth down conversion, I think he caught 2 passes on fourth down for first down. So he was there when Justin Herbert needed him the most. But you know, the same can't be said for Odell. I really don't know what was going on. I don't know if the Browns have lost confidence in him. I don't know if they see something in him that you know, everybody else can't see. I have no idea. I know that he alluded to him, you know, I think it was on Friday, or it was either Thursday or Friday. He alluded to, you know, him having the same type of injury that Baker Mayfield had with the shoulder impingement or something like that. He alluded to that, you know, and he said that he had it before. I don't know if he still currently has it. I wouldn't be surprised if he does, but they just, I really don't know what's going on with Odell, man. He did nothing. He did nothing, and he was pretty much invisible. There was a few times where I pointed out that the Chargers had their 4th best corner lined up against him, one-on-one, like with no safety coming over the top or anything. The 4th best corner on Odell Beckham, you know, and that's like, and Baker didn't even look at him, you know. So I'm just like, damn, like what's going on with him? We don't know. We really don't know what's going on with this guy. I will say though that this was a huge game for both teams, especially in the AFC. You know, for this could potentially have playoff seedings and all of that. You know, combined if you know these teams continue to have success. You know, this game could be crucial. You know, maybe in a tie-breaking situation or something like that. And both teams knew that coming in. So for them to not, you know, have Odell, you know, featured in the game plan, especially with Jarvis Landry out, that was really puzzling to me. So that lets me know that they are not really that bullish on him maybe anymore. I don't know. I wouldn't be surprised if they traded him at the deadline, if they found somebody to trade, if they found a partner to trade him to. I don't know, man. This is not, for one of the NFL's best receiver talents to have 2 catches for 20 yards in a shootout of a game is crazy. Yeah, so I don't know, man. This story is, for me, it's just starting, just because I seen it in person that he was not a part of this game plan at all. I don't know who the Browns play next, but if Odell is not featured and if he's not, you know, a prominent, you know, figure in that game, it's gonna let everybody know that, okay, this guy might be on the move, and that's gonna be a story within itself. But we'll see what happens. We'll see what happens with that. This is going to be a very, very interesting situation. But yeah, this game was fantastic. Chargers ended up winning 47-42. They put up 89 total points. I think it was like the total yards was over 1,000 yards of total offense. I believe it was 12 touchdowns as well too. It was crazy. It was crazy. The place was rocking. SoFi was rocking. A lot of Chargers fans, a lot of Browns fans as well too. But it was a good time. It was a good time. It was a great time. The Browns fans were really good. You know, and nothing got crazy. You know, there was nothing personal. You know, everybody was just cheering their team on, and it was a really good atmosphere. The games at SoFi, I mean, it seemed like they're going to be really, really fun. I can't wait to go back. This was my first time, so I can't wait to go back and catch another game. You know, the Chargers look really good. You know, are they the best team in the AFC right now? I think that question is still too early to be answered. We seen what Buffalo did last night to Kansas City, but they are, you know, they're top two, I would say. And you know, I don't know. I don't know if I'm putting them before the Bills. Or I don't know, you know, if you know, the Bills are as good as the Chargers. You know, we don't know yet. There's still some questions to be answered. But yeah, you know, this was a very, very good game. Best game of the season so far. I had to rewatch it back on you know, the TV copy today, and man, you know, this was this was something else. Some of these throws that Justin Herbert was making was ridiculous. I mean, absolutely ridiculous. I think it was a 3rd and 5 in the fourth quarter. I think it was a 3rd and 5 in the fourth quarter. I think with 3 minutes left, where he rolls out. Justin Herbert rolls out. He's getting pressured. He stiff arms the defensive end, runs to his right, let's go a rocket like on a line, 35 yards, and puts it right in the basket where Keenan Allen can catch it. That was fantastic. That throw was amazing. So yeah, I mean the Chargers really look good. Their offense looks potent. You know, and it's going to be interesting going down the stretch to see, you know, to see how good this team can be. Defensively, they didn't play well defensively. They made plays when they needed to be made. Derwin James he stood out defensively. But you know, I'll give the Chargers a pass because the Browns' weakness. I mean, the Browns' strength is the Chargers' weakness. So matchup wise, it wasn't a good matchup. The Chargers struggle stopping the run, and the Browns run the ball the best in the league. So that was, you know, that was bound to happen. I knew the Browns were gonna run for big yards, and they did. But you know, Justin Herbert and you know his magic, his theatrics, he made it happen, and pulled the victory out for the Chargers. So you know, I left happy. But I was even happier that I seen that game. That game was one of the best in the league so far. You know, I think it pushes Justin Herbert up into the MVP conversation. That's also, you know, it's kind of early for that as well too. But you know, it's a running narrative. You know, the whole entire season, who's MVP and this and that. But you know, he's a fantastic talent, having a great year too. So we will see what happens with that as well too. But just a great game. Can't wait for the next one. But yeah, Chargers win. But Browns impressed. But you know, that Baker Mayfield question is going to linger until he shows that he can lead his team to victory. You know, in the last 2 minutes, and you know, make the big plays that all of the you know, star quarterbacks make, and all of the plays that the highest paid quarterbacks get paid to make. So we'll see. It's a contract year. The Browns are gonna have to make the decision either way. But it'll be interesting to see. Very interesting to see. Great game, great atmosphere. Yeah, the Chargers win, so I'm happy. So yeah, that's all I got for this game. Don't forget to like the video, subscribe to the channel. I got more content coming up. You know, I'm planning videos. There's a bunch of topics right now. There's a lot of topics going on, a lot of sports going on right now. My favorite time of the year. We got basketball going, preseason basketball going. You know, right in the middle of NFL season. Baseball playoffs are going on as well too. So everything is kind of jumping off right now. So you know, I want to touch on as much as I can. You know, but we'll see what happens. And yeah, but thank you guys for watching. I'll see you next time.